It is a beautiful day to start living your life the way you want to live it. Welcome back to the Forward Focus Finish series. I'm Jason, and before we get into this week's episode, there's just a few housekeeping items I wanted to go over. I know what you're thinking. I just started the channel last week and I'm already making changes, but just bear with me as we go through them. In last week's inaugural video, I did say that I wanted to release a video every Wednesday. Well, after thinking about it, and with life throwing me a curveball, as life often does, Sunday seems to be the best day to release these videos. It's a day that I'm committed to because my schedule is changing at work, and I'll have Sundays off consistently, but it's also a day that you guys most have off as well, and it just seems right to start the week off with an affirmation. Secondly, I want to let you guys know that I've committed to myself, and I'm committing to you, to do 1 year's worth of these videos, 52 of them. This is the second one here. Now I'm trying a couple different techniques. Last week I filmed my video on my phone. This week I'm doing it on my iPad. Trying a few different locations as well as some different editing software. So just bear with me as I try to get some consistency to these videos so they're uniform and you have an idea of what to expect moving forward. The commitment I've made comes from the feedback from you guys. You guys have given me some great feedback so far, and I'm driven to make more of these videos as we come on this journey together. Now let's go ahead and get into this week's video. Last week I presented a challenge to you, which was to go 24 hours without complaining. How'd you do? I got some feedback from some of you. Some of you did very well. You were able to go more than 24 hours without complaining. Some of you went 24, some of you didn't quite make it. The whole point was to see how far we could go. Was again to become more aware of what we were doing and try to control it. We're human. We are going to fall. What we're trying to do is limit how often we fall, how far, and how quickly we get back up. I myself did okay. I went 3 days without complaining. Unfortunately, they weren't consecutive. One day I blew it up right out of the gate. I literally woke up with a complaint in my head. But I started over, and I was able to get it. And again, I became more aware of what I was doing. So what I'd like to try to do this week is build off what we did last week. What you're going to come to find here is each video is going to try to lead into the next one, as far as little strategies that we can stack on top of each other and build off of and put in our daily arsenal. While last week we focused on not complaining, this week we're going to try to focus on controlling our emotions, controlling our reactions. Now, human nature allows for reactions to be almost instantaneous. What we're going to try to do there is put a difference between action and reaction. So instead of there being cause and effect, we're putting a pause in the middle. We're putting just a little bit of a breath that we can take before we decide how to react. To give you a perfect example, my daughter doesn't always listen to direction. Sometimes she's just defiant, as 10-year-olds often are. Instead of just reacting and lashing out at her, I've been able to take a breath for a moment, just long enough to formulate my thoughts and control my reactions. So what I'd like for you to do is use the techniques that we started last week and build off of them for this week. So what we can do to track our progress is each day we can write down 5 to 10 things that elicited a reaction in us and how we reacted to it. Were we able to stop and formulate our thoughts, or did we have a knee-jerk reaction? And how did it affect you and those around you? After you've written down 5 to 10 things that you reacted to, I'd like for you to review it and come up with techniques or things you could have done differently. Now remember, this goal is about improving. There's no perfect score here. We are going to stumble, and if you do, it's okay. At least you're aware of it and you're trying. And like last week, I'll report my results as well. So until next week, be the best you could be, and as always, forward, focus, finish. That was loud.